Hello, future millionaires, and welcome back to the Get Rich Slow podcast. We are your hosts, Adrian Shermer, Rob Delavan, and a surprise switch, Ashley Whaley subbing in for Lance Johnson this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. You guys can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, watch us on YouTube, and listen on Stitcher, among other streaming services. Today, we've got our special guest, Cathy Winslow, back for part 2 of 3, talking to her about her life, her business, and Globe Life Family Insurance. It's Globe Life Family Heritage Division specifically. We want to learn more about the positive impact that you're making in the community. Morning, Cathy.
Good morning.
Morning, Cathy. Glad to have you
Good
back.
morning.
Lovely
Thank
picture of you here for our video audience. And yeah, excited to dig in here.
I love these book recommendations, and thank you for highlighting your last book. This book, I've never read this one. Can you give us a snapshot of Heaven is for Real by Todd Burpo?
So I know it's some of my books, they're just really, simple messages, but I'll go into it more later about why I like this type of story. But this is about a little boy, I think he was 3 or maybe 4. And I can't remember right now how he ended up in the hospital. I think it was an appendicitis or something. Anyway, something went wrong and he actually died for a little bit.
Wow.
I can't remember even how much time. I've read so many of these types of stories. But so coming from a little kid, his parents were amazed at stuff that he wouldn't have known otherwise. Like his mom had a miscarriage, and he's like, yeah, I met so-and-so, the girl, the one that she miscarried. And they're like, what? So it just kind of makes you wonder what happens, when.
And it sounds like very edifying, like it was, or uplifting, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That's cool.
I think there's a movie called Heaven is for Real.
It's based on this book. You should see it.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read this one.
All right. Well, we'll have to add it to the list here. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. So question 1 for you today, Cathy, is tell us about your business and what makes you so passionate about it.
Well, Globe Life Family Heritage Division, it's a supplemental insurance company. And insurance, I never thought in a million years I'd get into insurance, but because of my background and what happened to me personally, this is the thing that I need to be doing. What they do is they have 4 different types of policies. They have cancer insurance, accidental injury, heart attack, stroke, and ICU. And it's the cancer insurance that I bought personally when I heard from someone had asked me. I was talking about, I lost my husband to pancreatic cancer. My mom had ovarian cancer. My dad had lung cancer. They both passed away from cancer. So there's a lot of cancer in my family. And having that experience of losing my husband, I just, I'd always thought, what can I do to help give back? And so, like I said, I bought the insurance. I didn't even know there was such a thing as cancer insurance. And so after buying it and after a few years of having it, my agent called me and he said, we're always looking for good people. And I'd been in sales for years. And the more I thought about it, I thought, this is something I need to do because this company is incredible. Their products are incredible. And so I, got my insurance license and got finally at the end of 2020, I joined the company, and I'm actually an independent contractor. All of us are, but so it's my own business, but I exclusively represent them.
And the closest thing, just for our audience, that people often compare your product and service to is kind of like the Aflac, like the supplemental, and this isn't like primary health insurance, and it's not necessarily life insurance. Well, it's not life insurance. It's if you get cancer, if you're in the ICU, if you have, the different coverage, accident. There's a 4th one. I missed it.
Heart attack.
Heart attack. If these things happen to you, they pay you as you're down and out, basically, and not working and going through all the things from a care standpoint. Am I summarizing this correct?
Pretty close. Yeah. So we are in the same space as Aflac, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
There's some key differences, which I'll go into in a little while. And so, yeah, what we do is, so the major medical insurance that we have pays the doctors and the hospitals. And as we all know, we have co-payments, we have, deductibles. What we do is we pay cash directly to people, to our policyholders when something happens. So the cash amounts are attached, certain amounts are in the form of its benefits are attached to whatever type of procedure you're having. And then the money all adds up onto each other. So that's what we do is we pay people to help them, and it's cash. So you can use the cash however you want. Right. So
for a hospital stay, it's very typical to get, every day you're in the hospital due to a surgery or, cancer, whatever it is, you get paid every day above and beyond. This is nothing to do with medical insurance. But it covers all of those expenses above and beyond, like travel and different things. So
yeah, our cancer and heart policies have an incredible travel benefit. It's pretty awesome.
So if you end up at the Mayo Clinic is it Mayo up in Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Yeah. So if you end up there, you have to travel back and forth. There's expenses, all of those things. So above and beyond. Oh, okay. Your health insurance covers it. It covers the actual doctor, but nothing else. So,
well, yeah. And since, we have nothing to do with any other insurance you own. So even if your insurance covers something 100% and you have one of our policies, we still pay, if you turn in the receipt or the itemized bill of what was done, we will pay you too. So there's, and a lot of our benefits have no limitations, meaning that you can reuse it if you have to. So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, let's continue exploring this.
Yeah. There's actually quite a few Mayo clinics now. I was curious. I was like, wait, I grew up in Minnesota and I was like, wait, I think it's Rochester, and it is Rochester, Minnesota, but there's one in Scottsdale, Phoenix, and Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that.
All the retirement areas, huh?
Yeah.
That's according to Google anyway.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're traveling to, something that's a specialty treatment, right?
Right.
There's just a few expenses. They don't give out hotels next to hospitals for free, do they?
No.
Not the last time I checked.
Yeah. And that's what our travel benefit allows people to do is get the best treatment possible to increase your chance of survival versus just going to wherever you can afford, like the local hospital. So yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kathy, what would you say sets you apart from your competition?
Well, there are a couple things. The biggest thing is that we, out of any other supplemental health insurance company out there, which there aren't too many competitors, but we are the only ones in the country who gives you back all of your premium if you don't use it, all the premiums you paid if you don't use it. And even if you do make a few claims, as long as the total premiums paid is more than the total claims received, we still give you a check for that difference back.
What's the time frame on that?
25 years.
After 25 years, yeah.
Yes.
So so get it young, get it at 25, and by 50, you get a nice check back, right?
Yeah. Well, and even if and even if whoever, if you have two adults on the policy, even if you both pass away before the 25 years, that money doesn't go away. It goes to your beneficiary.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay. That's cool.
So, yeah. So it's, I think of it like you get paid whether you use it or not.
Very cool.
So.
What else, anything else that sets either you personally or the Globe Life Family Heritage policies apart?
Yeah. So the other thing is that we have customer service that is second to none. They have won awards. When you call into our customer service department, you actually get a live person, which is so rare these days. And they're based in the United States, for what that's worth. So you might be on hold for a minute or two, but you actually get a live person.
just as a testimonial that you didn't know about that, I recently changed my address because I moved. And I think I was on hold for 5 seconds and I was off the phone within like 2 minutes. So,
Awesome. Awesome.
just, and it sounded like somebody that was just next door to me. So, it was
Good.
quick, easy. It was
Good
great.
to hear.
So
Good to hear. Yeah. And our claims, I'm hearing, I can't promise that, oh, you'll get you make a claim and you'll get your benefits, your money quickly, but I hear that over and over again. We have testimonials coming in all the time, and one of them said it was a farming accident recently. Her husband was severely injured in a farming accident, and they had the accident policy. Made the claim. She said, I cannot believe we got our money. We got our cash within 10 days, and they were paid over $87,000. So
wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. We've had these big claims lately, and it's like, wow, we do pay a lot. So yeah,
It's amazing.
pretty amazing.
And you're not the type of person to toot your own horn, Cathy. I know that, but the way where you are different from your competition, obviously, is the personal passion for this, and that's also incredible. So, I don't want to minimize that. Yes, the company, nationwide is there's lots of salespeople, but not all of them have your story.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing that the reason why I do this is because of the fact that I lost my husband to pancreatic cancer, and so I know what you go through financially.
Right.
It took 3 weeks for them to diagnose him. He was in the hospital for 3 weeks. They assigned a patient care coordinator to me. The hospital did, to help me with the bills because the charges were over $100,000.
Jeez.
And it wasn't, we had what we thought was really good insurance. And of course, that wasn't our portion. It was the total charges from the hospital, but we still had the 20%, and then he was in and out of the hospital after that the whole time. He lived for 4.5 months after he was diagnosed.
Wow.
And and I was on the phone constantly with the hospital trying to figure out the bills. And it's just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
So,
at 3 to 6 months pregnant with a little one at home.
Yeah, I was 6 months pregnant when he passed away. Yep. So
you're a warrior.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do, right? Yeah. I didn't think I would be able to get through it, but I did. And actually my 4-year-old son kind of helped in a way, because it was somebody I could focus on, making sure I had to be strong for him and everything. So yeah, that helped actually.
Incredible.
Yep. So.
Well, here is our final question of episode 2. And Cathy, I just have so much peace of mind knowing that myself and my husband and my 2 girls are covered with your cancer policy. I'm right there with you, where there's so many people that have been in my sphere over my entire lifetime who have experienced cancer. And it's just that added peace of mind of knowing like, okay, we have our health insurance, but now we have this extra piece where if we were to experience that as a family, we would be taken care of financially, because everything is so expensive these days. And that's the last thing you want to worry about, is being able to cover your bills, right? Where you can just focus on getting healthy. So thank you for taking care of myself and my family. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So I love this question. What energizes you and keeps you going?
So I thought about this one. And really it's as far as just the work I do, we get so many testimonials every single day. And we have our meeting every Wednesday morning, a Zoom meeting with our agency, which is, I don't know, I think it's like 45 or 50 people. And someone always reads a testimonial to start off the call, the meeting. And the cool thing about the company too, is that they're just, it's a large company, but it really feels like we're working for a small company. They, from the president of the company down to other agents, even in other areas, we all support each other. The overall theme of the company is not about, like so many other big companies I've worked for in the past, they're all about numbers. And of course, numbers are important, obviously, to keep the business going, but they're all always focusing on, we need to get out there and protect more families. We need, because of the stories we hear, testimonials we get, and just the fact that we help so many people avoid bankruptcy, which is so common nowadays. That's the number one reason. Medical bills are the number one reason why people go through bankruptcy. So, or people who have to rely on a GoFundMe campaign, which only goes so far. So we truly help families financially, and help them be able to focus on getting better versus, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my mortgage or my rent or my car payment? So that's what keeps me going.
Nice. That's a big why right there. And there's a lot of people in this world and in your community. And there's a lot, I mean, just even us here, the four of us, well, the three of us, and then with you, Cathy, like I think of so many people within our sphere and our network that we can reach out and just share our own testimonial, right? Of like why we have the policy with you and just that peace of mind factor. So that's a huge why.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And there are so many young people who are, people in their 20s even, who are being diagnosed with cancer. It's just, I feel like I'm voice of doom when I'm talking about it, but really, thank you, voice of doom. But anymore, they're saying, our statistics say 3 out of 4 families will have cancer at some point, and 1 out of 3 men, 1 out of 3 women will have a cancer diagnosis at one point in their lives.
Wow.
So, and it's 50%, almost 50% of the cancer cases are now coming from the environment. So it's not necessarily having a family history of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd just be more susceptible.
Yep. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that statistic as well. I mean, numbers don't lie, right? If Lance were here, like he's all about the numbers.
Exactly.
There we go. Ashley, represent.
Good point.
Cathy, where can we find you?
So you can always email me at cwins2020@gmail.com. You can call me or text me. That's probably the quickest way. 503-862-6980. My Instagram is at GlobeLifeFHD. That stands for Family Heritage Division. Or Cathy Winslow Agent on my Facebook page.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Yep.
There we go.
CathyWinslow.com as well. Globe Life FHD stands for Family Heritage Division, which I think is a real cool title. You can get links in the notes of this episode as well that will send you over to Cathy's page, as well as our respective pages, Rob and I, and our substitute Lance Johnson. And thanks a lot, Cathy. Looking forward to the next episode where we'll talk a little bit about where you're headed for the future, which seems to be the subject of your whole business.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Catch us in person at our events. roi-fa.com/events is where you can find out what we've got coming forward. We've got Sip and Mingles, Learning Grows. There's a summer bash, and there's some holiday photos that are going to be happening as well. So check out our website for the latest and greatest and all that. And thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks,
guys.
so much. Appreciate it,
Thank
Cathy.
you.
We'll look forward to the next episode. Take care.
Me too. Thanks.